Thanks a lot. Hope everyone's awake. I am Garrett. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Rockbot, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about our social music service. So, have you ever been sitting in your neighborhood bar, restaurant, or cafe when Lady Gaga comes on for the 25th time that day, and you're thinking, I really wish there was a way to request a different song? Or maybe you're thinking, this track's actually kind of growing on me. I wish there was a way to download it. So these are some of the reasons we invented Rockbot. So Rockbot is a licensed social music service for businesses. We run on any internet-connected device that's connected to the sound system in the venue. We have a library of 5 million songs that's hosted in the cloud, and each venue picks a custom catalog from that library to offer in their business. We currently have native apps on Android and iPhone, so you can go ahead and download those if you want, but let's take a look at how the system runs. So, on the right, this venue is running the application in their browser on a laptop connected to their computer. And on the left, the customer has downloaded our free iPhone app and has checked into this venue. So the first thing they see is the music that's playing on the sound system. They can buy the song, they can vote on it. We give them some free credits to get started so they can browse the catalog that the venue has offered and pick a song. And then they jump over to the now playing, and you can see what's in the queue. So you can start voting on other songs that are in the queue. So we get a really cool kind of gamification aspect going on, as well as seeing the other users in the venue. So now you've seen why users love our app. Let's talk a little why businesses love it. We provide a licensed solution for them at about half the cost of existing solutions like Muzak or DMX. It's super easy to set up. It can run in a Roku connected to the TV. Everyone in the venue can engage with the music that's playing. And it takes them only 10 or 15 minutes to set it up and get started. So there's currently 3 of us on the team. Those are my co-founders, Gene and K2, and we're working on closing a seed round.
Excellent. We're done. Good job.
All right.
Yay, there we go. If I stand up, that means it's time to get ready to clap. That's what that means. Or boo. Don't boo. David.
I think this is a massive idea. This concept of going into Starbucks and the people who are sitting there creating the playlisting and some form of communal playlisting. How do you deal with, if there's 10 people there and we're all trying to take control or influence the playlist?
Yep.
Is there an algorithm that rewards based on frequency of times in the bar?
Yep.
I mean, who gets to control? How do you deal with those types of issues?
Right, so there's a couple factors that influence the queue. There's the time, basically, that the song was picked, so it's heavily weighted towards when the song was actually picked. But then we also bring in other factors to the algorithm. So your DJ rating, basically everyone in the venue is voting on how good your picks are, and then that carries out throughout the system. So you'll essentially be earning standing within the queue. And we use some other factors in there to basically, we always want to provide the best possible music experience for that venue. And so we do that by letting them have a custom catalog, so no one can select songs outside of that catalog. They're not going to play Tupac in your coffee shop. And we also do that with these social incentives.
Wait, what? What coffee shop do you go to? Bad coffee
exactly.
shop. Don't go to that coffee shop.
So we always want them to be in control, and we also want to have that social incentive for picking great music at the right time.
So this is not, the people who are using the app have to choose from a selected group of songs that you provide versus having something like Mog or tapping into APIs of another music subscription service, or B, letting users use their own local files.
That's correct. So it's not that we don't have the music, it's that we kind of come from the mentality of those old jukeboxes that were heavily curated by the venue, and the music is actually, key to the personality of that bar or that restaurant, right? So we always want to balance that with the user requests. And right now we do that by creating these custom catalogs for each venue, but as we get a little more advanced, that'll be algorithmically programmed.
And so you're dealing with the rights issues of acquiring that content for each individual.
That's correct.
bar.
So we finished all our licensing recently, and we're out there putting it in businesses as of last week.
Before we go in here, retro, not old. We call them retro jukeboxes,
Classic.
not old jukeboxes. Sean, you want to start?
So app looks great. kind of super cool game mechanics that you can layer in over time, and that, screwing around with the jukebox is something that, people have wanted to and been doing for years, right? So the question for me is, how do you integrate with all the players out there? Like, have you integrated, for example, with TouchTunes or any of the other digital music providers in venues already?
So actually this is kind of one of the really exciting things about our platform is it runs in any browser. So there's no need for a TouchTunes anymore. There's no need for an iPod. I mean, we basically will run it on iPod Touch, we'll run it in the browser on their laptop, or we'll run it on our Roku channel right now. So the cool thing is we can put in a $60 piece of hardware in any bar, any coffee shop, any restaurant, and have streaming music to them that's all the customers can engage with.
I see. So your focus is new installs, not integrating with existing systems that may already have a digital jukebox then?
Right. So over the last week, we've set up 10 venues. We've already replaced 2 Muzak services and 1 jukebox. So most of those solutions, actually, these businesses are unhappy with. With the jukeboxes, they don't have a lot of control over what plays. And then with things like Muzak, they're getting sort of a standard playlist that isn't really tailored to their venue.
Muzak killer, love it.
Thanks.
Retro.
You do realize you do get extra points for putting the deers in that first slide.
I answered the points on the first slide.
Are you focusing on so for the consumer-facing app, are you focusing on the Rockbot app, or do you have more of a white label strategy where it could be the Starbucks app or Resto, and then like whatever cafe app or something like that?
Yeah, we're really focusing on our own app for now. I would say we want you to know that with the Rockbot brand, anywhere that music is playing, you can check in and start influencing it. So I think that's kind of a key factor to our strategy.
If Starbucks asked you, would you do it?
So ask me that in a couple months. We're currently in talks to roll out to a number of national chains, and so I think that once we get the ink dry on these deals, there won't be any need to white label for Starbucks.
Does it rhyme with Starbucks?
No, it doesn't.
Natalia, ma'am?
Well, I mean, as an artist, of course. I mean, yeah. So the songs would be licensed, and then so performance royalties have been in consideration. Yep. So you do pay performance royalties through. I
started writing
labels.
checks last week.
Yeah.
So,
sweet.
Yeah. So yeah, we're still bootstrapped pretty much. We raised a small friends and family round, but yeah, we're doing the licensing right out of the gate here. So.
Is there any like location basedness to it? So like you go to jukeboxes, right? Even the digital ones, and what gets played is what's on the radio, right? Is there a way to localize the app so that it says, hey, here's local music from around the area that you can? Is that built in?
So with the platform that we have, we can actually put in any local music that way. If you download the app now, you'll see one of the lists we have is the South by artists. So we're working hard to feature music that's relevant to those, that venue or those communities. And we also want it to be a music discovery tool, because we think one of the main ways you discover music is when you're, out in a club, in a restaurant, in a bar, and, that's some of the success that apps like Shazam or SoundHound have had, and now it's directly linked to what's actually playing.
David, you look like you want to say something.
Yeah. So you can get revenue from the brands or the locations you integrate with. You get revenue from the users as they purchase credits, and I'm assuming you can get revenue from labels or trying to seed their music. So that's 3 lines of revenue.
Yes,
I don't have any more questions.
Yeah, there's revenue coming from all sides, basically.
So what's the competition? Like who's?
So there's the main competition. Honestly, are the established players like Muzak, which has and yet has 360,000 locations. They've been around for 100 years and haven't changed much. And the jukeboxes, which again, the formats in those jukeboxes have changed, but the way that you interface with them have not. It's always one person there using it, walked across the bar, put in their dollar bill, and maybe they heard their song before they left, and maybe they didn't.
Some of these new jukeboxes, though, are interactive or cloud-based or digital. Are you concerned that there's actually an appeal for people to go to that communal player versus the lonely, individualistic, usage of this in my pocket?
Not really. We've actually, so we're pretty early on here, but we've seen a lot of social engagement within the venue. It's pretty cool. When you make a pick, your name shows up, right? And then you start to see all the votes. And it's been a cool way for people to talk to each other in the bar. And we'll probably be, building some interesting social things kind of on that. So there is this shared physical experience and also the shared kind of digital experience as well.
And then you can isolate the people you don't like.
Well, then
not talk to them.
We can help match them up. Maybe you'll find love because you're both picking from the same band.
Got questions down here? It's the first time we've ever run out of questions. So, okay, so it seems to me though that, I know you'd say that you're not concerned about competitors that are out there, but what's the moat, right? How do you protect this business if you have these other services? If the jukeboxes exist, the retro or the digital, they have much of what you have, right? Except for the mobile technology, which I would assume, like what do you have that's yours that keeps everybody away?
So in terms of the jukebox guys, they're actually tied to their channel. The way the jukeboxes work is actually they're put in by coin-op distributors, and those distributors take about half of that revenue. So they're tied to those physical boxes, which means inherently they can't go into these locations without dumping their channel. So that makes it difficult for those guys. And then you have on the other side the background music services like Muzak that are 100 years old, and I'm pretty sure they don't know what a mobile app is yet.
So your mode is that you're hoping that they don't hire somebody that's 25?
That's part of it, but they can't, again, the jukebox guys can't shift fundamentally without reinventing their whole business. And again, the Muzak folks haven't really made any strides. But in addition to that, I will say that we are locking up these national deals, and hopefully we'll be able to announce that soon. But basically, just through word of mouth and through the excitement around the service, we've had deals come to us that are in the many thousands of franchise.
And in the last
locations.
20 seconds, tell me about your team. Like, do you have the people that are on the board or whatever that can get you into places to lock exclusivity down?
Yep. So we've got an awesome team which has enabled us to get this far basically on pretty much $0. So our co-founder K2, who is a rockstar developer, built every single piece of our technology, Android, iPhone, the back end, the Roku, everything. And then our co-founder Gene over here is a lawyer, and we have great advisors from the music side. So the combination of those pieces has enabled us to get this done.
And with that, we are out of time. Thank you.